Space nerds. There's been some talk about a new Anvil ship coming out, and it's not necessarily new talk, but it's becoming more and more kind of certain. Anvil is due for a ship, probably pretty soon. Star Citizen is updating a lot of their websites, and recently, yesterday or today, whatever, they updated the portfolio page for Anvil Aerospace. Now, I've gone through and looked at what was different and what wasn't, using the Wayback Machine here. You can see there's just a little bit added to the bottom here. So one of the first differences is they say the recent civilian conversion of the Gladiator looks to be a similar success story, that of the Hornet here, as the first model, Gladiator 1, becomes available to the general public in the next 3 months. In the new version, that basically just says that the first model, the Gladiator 1, becomes a growing fixture in many private hangars. So they just updated it basically to say the Gladiator released, which, when did they? Yeah, 2013 was when that originally came out. So they just updated a 13-year-old document to say some new information. But they do go on further and add an update here that says, it is believed that Anvil will be revealing a brand new ship in 2956 that industry insiders have described as the future of modern naval warfare. It's believed, it's confirmed. It's like, okay, yeah. Who believes it? The people who are making it. So there's going to be probably a pretty large Anvil ship coming in what is likely a modern warfare focused event. Read Invictus Week in May. So we have that information from this update, yes, but it goes a little bit deeper. We can go all the way back to the day when Star Citizen was still just earning a couple $1 million every week. Okay, it's like pretty simple stuff. They weren't really doing too much. 17 million though they passed, and they were getting stretch goals and saying things for these stretch goals. And one of the things that they said was the 17 million mark unlocks a special ship upgrade pack for every pledger who has donated prior to this point. An engine modifier will be added to your account shortly, and in the near future, you should be able to see in your hangar. You also unlocked an additional flyable ship class in the finished game, the massive battle cruiser. So we got this big battle cruiser that, the breadcrumbs were sprinkled again freaking 13 years ago when they were first starting out the funding for this game. And it really sat quiet since then. I didn't even know this was a thing, to be honest, until last year when Jared got on camera with Benoit. Where is that video?
I backdoored into a subject here. Let's just be real clear. Trying really hard not to do concept ships anymore. 2025 looks like it's going to be, again, it would be impossible to launch a new concept at this point. So our first year without concept sales, we don't want to do any more concept promotions ever again. We might have to do our last one for the Battlecruiser whenever that comes. And
so that was all I was looking for, really. That was the next time the Battlecruiser was mentioned, I think. 12 years difference. But since then, it has come up even more. Before we get into that, here's the devs just kind of talking at the end of last year about what ships are coming this year, just to kind of help add a little bit of evidence to where we're going.
Just the manufacturers of the releasing ships in 2026.
Right. So this is an interesting one, though, because this is releasing ships, not just concept ships, which will be something that I bring up a little later.
RSI.
Aegis, yep. Did you say RSI?
Yep.
RSI.
Anvil?
Yes.
Misk.
Yes.
Okay. Two things here. He says Anvil, but the way that Jared answers yes kind of makes me wonder if he's thinking a couple things there. First, he could be thinking, well, it's a concept ship. It's not necessarily releasing. Second, he could be thinking, you guys are releasing the Auxilia, which is a ground vehicle and not necessarily a ship, so does that count? Third, he could just be agreeing that the Anvil is releasing a ship next year. Either way, next year being this year, because this was last year. Either way, there are a few options as to where this could go on Anvil releasing a ship, but we've already gone through here. We've seen that, A, they're introducing something at Invictus Week, most likely. It's going to be naval warfare focused, which means it's probably a larger ship. B, we know the battle cruiser is a thing. They've started to bring it up. He said an Anvil ship is coming next year. And now, watch this one.
back away from this one because it looks like a hard one. These mines.
Trying to work out which settled this is.
Yeah.
They're all really fast, so they just sound like a bunch of chipmunks getting hyped real quick there.
Oh, it's one of them.
Oh no.
Got to use the legs for this one.
Oh no, it's me. I'm in trouble. Oh.
Don't say a word. Gonna need some more info on the battlecruiser there, Chief. Don't say a word. Don't say a word.
Say words.
I'll say this so that if somebody gets angry at me, they can just come to me. The battlecruiser, for those of you who don't know, is our last concept. It's from the original crowdfunded campaign. We didn't do any concept ships this year. It's our intention to never do another concept ship again, other than the battlecruiser. And when it comes,
I'm gonna watch the chat for this.
being a giant military style thing, if only there was a giant military style event that would be appropriate to reveal such things, that's probably where you might expect to learn more about it.
So, I mean, at this point, I think the biggest question is how far along in the concept process could it be? Is this like early stages like we would see back in the day? Or is this kind of like what they showed us from the Ironclad 2 years ago, where it was pretty well thought out already on the interior? I'm thinking it's going to be the latter. This is probably pretty far along already, but I don't think that this is going to be the Anvil ship that they were insinuating was releasing this year. I do think it's going to be a concept, but I wonder for how long it's going to be a concept. You think it'll be early?
And definitely not here, where we've already spilled the beans on too much of the 2026 schedule.
So that's pretty sure the information we know. This actually, I think he might have gotten a little more information because this was November. It's August 21st. What was this? Let's just listen to this. I don't know what this is.
I backdoored into it.
Oh, this is that. Okay, this is the same thing. Cool. So that's the information we have. And I see some guesses in chat very far along the JPEG process. It really could be anywhere. I don't think we have any real idea of what it could be. Obviously, the Liberator is a big ship that they could be working on getting out. I don't think there's any reason to believe this is coming. Okay, my mistake. So yeah, they began pre-production on the Liberator back in 2025. Wait, yeah, the Liberator. But it doesn't. We don't have anything else besides that there. So besides knowing the name is Odin, is that what it's on the Galactopedia? I'm being told. Oh, recently updated Odin. Well, that's convenient. Yeah, it does say up here Anvil Odin, but it doesn't say anything else other than spacecraft, human vehicle. Wonderful. So, different signs that something's happening from Anvil and something's happening from them soon. We'll see when it lands. We at least have set the stage, and I think in a month we will see this in picture or otherwise. Hope you got some info from that.